Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Ganga, we back with an updated banger. Today I am going to be showing you guys my weekly leg day split. I know y'all know we pretty much do the same workout on the channel, but we may do them in different ways. So I'm gonna show you where I put a little sauce on some things. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your post notifications on so you know every time your girl drop a video. Also, with every exercise, don't forget, we suck in that gut, we tuck in that butt, we push through our heels, and we do not forget to breathe. Let's get it, gang.
Bank on it. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I said, I stamp on it. In a private plane, I lamp on it. Lele oh, they call me bank on it. Cause I walk around with the bank on him. Show them Gangnam Style, put the gang on him. Twist my fingers up on a bang on him. Lele oh, yeah. Tobalo ko macho. Yeah, Tobalo mako macho. Yeah, nobody know tomorrow.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't be
3, 2, 1, go.
fall for you every time I try to resist. We can get away from these beach views and every day. All I wanna hear is an visions how we play. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. Make a wish away. Really, really wanna, I just wanna get away. Sit right next to you. I think I need you here. I swear it's time to keep these feelings to myself. Now you're the one I'm thinking of. My higher ground, my rocket love. For gravity, I'd rather stay up here. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views on a night day. All I wanna hear is an visions how we play. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. Make a wish away. Really, really wanna, I just wanna get away. Sit right next to you. I don't wanna kiss you. Yeah, I just wanna feel you. Feel you. I want you around, around.
right, gang, first exercise of the week and the day is the Romanian deadlift. You can see here what muscle groups it utilizes by the highlighted content on the photo here and also by reading the description. I'm not going to read it to you, but we're going to get right into the exercise. Now, as you step up onto the platform, you are placing your body in the middle of the bar. Your feet are shoulder width apart, and I rotate my toes out slightly. I hinge my hips back, making sure my spine is neutral. I then bend my knees and then I pick up the bar. It's up to you what type of grip that you use. I switch mine up just to make sure both sides of my body are being utilized. Sometimes I do an underhand, sometimes I do an overhand, sometimes I do a mix. Now, when you lift the bar up, it's as if you're pushing the floor away. And when you are going down, it's like you're slowly giving somebody the bar. Now, there are many ways to do Romanian deadlifts. You can use a trap bar here, as I am showing you. When I use the trap bar, I also use 2 little plates as a wedge to make sure I am extending my hips backwards. The trap bar, because of the way the weight is distributed, it kind of makes you want to go down into a squat, but we are doing hip hinge movements here. So again, those movements are slow and controlled. When you are pulling the bar up, you can also imagine as if somebody's trying to take it away from you, or you guys are working together in a pulley type of system. You're handing it to them slowly, and then you're slowly taking it back. Here you see me using the rack to do the Romanian deadlift. Just puts your body in a shorter position of training your glutes, just putting more emphasis on the glutes and less on the legs, because again, this is an RDL, which is mostly a hamstring movement, but we just tweaking it a little bit here and there to make sure we are emphasizing those glutes. I'm going to give you guys a view from the back here so you can kind of see how your glutes are supposed to be fully extended and your movements are supposed to be slow and controlled. Also here, I'm going to show you how to complete the exercise using a landmine. I love using the landmine because it really makes you push your hips all the way back, and it helps really with keeping that back flat. If you have any issues with grip strength, I would say the landmine and the trap bar are your friend. All right, I'm gonna let y'all watch me do a few reps, then we're gonna get into the next exercise. Second exercise of the day is the barbell hip thrust. Here I found a really nice schematic to show you what muscle groups are worked. You can see that the glutes are really emphasized here on the screen. So I use a 12-inch platform to complete my hip thrusts. I am 5'3" and I'm pretty equally proportioned. My torso is a little short, but my legs aren't like super long in comparison. So if you need some, a way to do your hip thrust, this really works for me. Make sure the platform is right underneath the blades of your shoulder. You scoop the barbell up. You make sure you are pushing through your heels. Again, my feet are shoulder width apart and my toes are slightly rotated out. Make sure you keep that chin tucked and you are looking forward. It will make sure you are using your glutes and not your back to lift the bar. Again, imagine yourself pushing the floor away and make sure you are extending all the way at the top. These hip thrusts are good, but you got to make sure you complete it at the top. So I try to do a little pause when I am completing my reps. Again, here we have 4 sets, 8 to 10 reps. All right, gang, final exercise are good mornings. Here you can see on the screen what muscle groups are worked with good mornings. We are training the hips and the glutes in a more extended range, but still with a hip hinge motion. So I'm using a wedge here just to get some type of push-pull going that helps me with my mind-muscle connection. When I get under the bar, I place the bar a little bit lower on my back, which forces my hips to hinge more, taking emphasis off of my legs. If you place the bar higher, you will naturally squat more, which is fine, but we're not doing squats. We are doing good mornings. So make sure it's slow and controlled. I hinge my hips backwards until my knees are slightly bent, and then I come up, and that's the completed rep. Now, sometimes the Smith machine is not available, and when that's not available, I will use one of these bars, again with the plates, so that I am making sure my hips are hinging backwards. And it's kind of nice having the load on top of you because it really forces gravity to push you back and down. All right, gang, let's get into these single leg exercises. All right, gang, as I mentioned earlier, the single leg exercises are usually superset with another one of the main moves. So on day one of our workout week, I am supersetting these Bulgarians with our Smith machine good morning. So I just change the weight as I need to in between each exercise. So I love these here because you can use the Smith machine for stability, and we have this split squat like isolation machine, I'm going to call. So you have two things that are stabilized, so you can really get your body nice and in a good position to execute these Bulgarian split squats. Again, make sure you're under the bar enough to where the bar is lower on your back, which will push your hips back, which will make these more glute focused. But these are one of my top booty builders and my favorite exercise, period. So these are slow and controlled, and the leg that you're working is the stationary leg. If the Smith machine is not available, I will use one of these small barbells and a little isolated split squat stabilizer. Also, you can use the Smith machine on the lowest rack and hold a weight. It just depends what's more comfortable for you, but the Smith machine is my most preferred right now because you can add load because you are just so stable. All right, let's get to the next one. Okay, we have our step-ups weighted donkey kick combo. So I do not superset. This is one of the main exercises. I do these before I do my good mornings on the second day of the workout week. I'm using an 18-inch step-up box. Again, I am using the Smith machine because it's stable and you can just add load carefully. So the working leg is the stabilized leg. I am leaning forward, again, having the bar lower on my back, which pushes my hips backwards, which makes this more of a glute-focused exercise. So again, you're just stepping up and you're pushing that other leg through and going back down, slow and controlled. So I do 10 of these superset with 10 weighted donkey kickbacks. So with our donkey kickbacks, we are leaning forward, placing the weight in between the back of our knee, and we are pushing up the weight slow and controlled with the back of our leg. Make sure you really hold in your core and keep that back neutralized. You are going to go up and kind of out at the end, doing some external rotation on that glute medius. This is pretty much a bicep curl, but for the leg, it's working that under booty and it's working that hamstring. All right, let's get into our final single leg exercise, which is the single leg hip thrust. Now you see me on the back of the 12-inch box, which means that I superset these with our regular hip thrust. So one set of regular hip thrust, then we come and do the single leg. Same thing, making sure your shoulder blades are lined up with the back of the apparatus that you are hinging on. The working leg is the leg with the weight. I am putting a little pressure on that working leg as I go up The only difference with a single leg hip thrust is that your back is supposed to come all the way up a little onto your hinging apparatus. This is a full body exercise and really helps that side booty and that scoop, that roundness of your glute maximus. Gang. First of all, let me get rid of these. We done. Oh, with the main part of the workout anyway. Up next, we have our Glutes-Leg leg lifts. Hopefully it's available. And then we have our back extensions. Y'all, I'm done. It's beat, but let's finish. All right, gang, first up are our cable leg lifts. I say leg lifts and not kickbacks because I use the back of my leg to lift the cable and not kick it back with my quad. That way we're getting more glute focus. So here we're working with the Bisu ball. You attach the cable, you apply the correct amount of tension, and you do the same thing with any glute medius leg lift. You lift the leg up and you rotate it out a little bit at the top. With the Bisu ball, you're fighting for control of the stabilized leg, your core, and everything. So I feel both legs working with the Bisu ball. If you can, if they have one at your gym and you can use it on your cable machine, I would really suggest that you try. Make sure that back stays neutral, that core and that back of that leg are doing all of the work here. And here's another view from the direct front, how it looks like. Again, leg up and slightly rotated out, slow and controlled movements. I hold at the top for 10 seconds at the end of each set. All right, gang, our next leg lift is our 45-degree cable leg lift. So we are pulling back, creating tension, stepping over the cable. Once we do that, we line the ball up so that we can comfortably put the static leg, which is the standing leg, on top of the ball. So we're gonna step up here, and then we're gonna do the same thing we always do, which lift our leg up and out. Slow and controlled movements. Again, the back of that leg or that ankle is pulling the cable up. Please make sure you keep that toe pointed and that foot flexed for full glute engagement. Here is a view from the back. We're going to do a couple repetitions here, and then we are going to get into our back extensions and wrapping up this workout. All right, gang, final supersets and final exercises of the week are back or hyper extensions. Up first, we have our traditional back extension. Now, with both sets, make sure the mat is below your hips and pointed at 45 degrees. Now, with the traditional back extension, your back is flat. Your toes are pointed forward. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Imagine you're doing a laying down RDL. Make sure you're squeezing in your core and that back of the body to complete each rep. Now at the top of each set, I like to hold for 10 seconds just to make sure we squeezing everything up in there and maximizing the exercise. So I'm gonna show you guys a few more clips here. Again, in this set, I am going super slow and squeezing at the top of each rep for a few seconds, which really just engages the body even more. All right, y'all, let's go to our final exercise, which are our glute focused back extensions. With our glute focused back extensions, the same thing applies as the traditional. The mat should be placed below your hips and angled at 45 degrees. The differences are your back is rounded, your toes are pointed out in a sumo stance, and the exercise ends at the top of the glute. So you are still using that back of that body in order to complete the exercise. But the movement pattern you should feel is one of a cable pull through or a hip thrust, like a scooping movement, really pushing those hips into the mat using the back of the body and the core. Go slow and controlled. These really burn, especially at the end of the week, end of the exercise. And I like to hold, make sure we squeezing it all the way in there. All right, gang, we made it. We up out of here. Feeling great, you guys. Workout week is over. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on so you know every time I drop one of these bangers.